I want to pick up on a point you just made because someone mentioned it on a previous podcast, and it's something I think about all the time. As New Brunswickers, and I think there's something in the DNA of Atlantic Canada that we don't talk about the failures as part of the success journey. Because I've had the opportunity to study in different educational institutions around North America as well. And when you hear people's stories, they wear the downs as much as the ups.
Yeah.
And they love sharing those pieces of their story because it's what made them who they are today. Do you find that feeling that I feel that we just don't talk about that enough?
We don't. I couldn't agree more. We don't talk about failure enough. It should be part of a natural conversation, especially in the space that I work in. Previous to this, I was in the startup space. So failure is 90% of what happens.
Right.
And now we're really focused on tech adoption, digital transformation in the province. There will also be failure and learning. I think it is part of being humble, is part of who we are, and we take great pride in that, but it often translates into, but I don't want to tell people if I failed, which isn't helpful.
Right. Yeah. It's fascinating. And I think, we're going to get into this later in the podcast, but as we dream big as New Brunswickers and try to reshape our province, figuring out where we fit in Canada's new journey of trade diversification and innovation and productivity, there's going to be a lot of success, I believe, in this province, but there's going to be bumpy roads to get there. Yeah. The Premier last Thursday in our State of a Province, Premier Holt mentioned this, and I think was very open and honest and authentic in a way I haven't seen out of leadership. But we need to start talking about the fact that in a path to success, there's going to be bumps.
Yeah,
they're going to hurt.
A lot. And I think it's one of the things we're focused on at the Institute as well. We're discovering right now, because we're engaged in what we're calling a listening tour. So reconnecting with New Brunswickers to understand where are the biggest opportunities for us to refocus. And what we're hearing is that there is a lot that we're not talking about. I'm hearing big feelings when it comes to talking about technology, tech adoption, AI. And I think we're not talking about how difficult it is for adults to learn and adopt new skills to become productive, right? We talk a lot about productivity, but how difficult this is for adults to embrace new tools in a way that they may not understand yet.
It's almost overwhelming. I think we're bombarded on a daily basis with news and new applications and, companies looking at AI and how they're going to transform everything. I think there's just a natural fear factor to change.
Yep.
And then it's throw in the pace of change. And you've
Buckle
got
up.
two fear factors that are coming at most people.
There's a Harvard Business School professor that I love to follow, and his name is Dr. Karim Lakhani. He has this great TED Talk. Are you familiar with his?
Well, I did. I obviously didn't do my MBA like you, but I did the program for leadership development. I had him as one of my cohort professors.
Gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So he has this TED Talk that I would encourage everybody to check out, but he talks about AI tools needing to be put through clinical trials. And it is so grounding because you sort of, in the most basic sense, we don't fully know the dosage. We don't really know the short-term side effects. We don't really know the long-term side effects. So what does Harvard do? They clear out the noise, they do the research and apply it to industry and figure out the answers. Yeah. So it was really grounding for me in that they went into companies and they had a sort of a placebo company that didn't get any new AI tools, and they had a team that got AI tools. They measured the quality of their work, how fast they did it, and how much work they could do. It was improved by 40%.
Wow.
However, if those same tools were given to another team and applied incorrectly, it was disastrous. So the education around AI tools and then working back to even basic tech adoption, we need to understand that in order for New Brunswick companies to really embrace the potential of AI, we have important work to do around education, around the change management piece. The people process for me is big and missing from the conversation that the McKenna Institute, we're going to focus a lot more on.